Morning everyone, we are here again with another game of 40k. This time it is myself and Matt playing.
Hello.
Matt, although Alex is still here. Hello Alex. After the last game, which will be up on the channel now with the Space Wolves against the Astra Militarum, no spoilers about how that went, but we thought Matt wanted to give the Astra Militarum another go and give them a try. So we've got a 1500 point game.
Well, and you wanted to try your...
I wanted to try my new stuff as well, yeah. So we've got a 1500 point game on this table. We've changed how it looks a bit. It's a little bit more sparse. I don't know what the word is.
Spare or sparse, yeah.
It's a bit more empty than the table was for the Space Wolves. But we've got quite a cool little setup with this sort of industrial style board and some crates and other ruined habber blocks and buildings around to be the terrain. Looking pretty cool. So it's going to be the Astra Militarum, and I am bringing my new army, which is the Tyranids.
It is.
So looking forward to playing them for the first time on the channel.
Yep.
But we've got our deployment, which is the Crucible of Battle. So we're going to have a deployment down in this corner and then up over in that corner over there. Haven't decided attack or defender or anything yet, so we don't know who's going to be where. The primary mission is Purge the Foe, so it's nice and simple. End of the battle round, you score 4 victory points if you destroy one or more enemy units. Second battle round onwards, you score 4 victory points if more enemy units than friendly units were destroyed in this battle round. So a fairly nice, straightforward, kill enemies kind of mission.
Yes, because it's 2 new armies, so we probably need something easy.
Yeah. We don't want it to be too complicated. No. But then to kind of counteract that a little bit, the mission rule is hidden supplies, which is actually just set up another objective marker.
Yes.
So
there are 4 in No Man's Land.
There are 4 in No Man's Land. So I'll just quickly show you where the objective markers are. We've got one here. We've got one.
So that's a deployment zone 1.
Yes, deployment zone 1 is there. The other deployment zone 1 is that one there.
Yeah.
Then in the centre we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So even though it is a kill everything kind of mission, there is also an extra objective.
I don't think you actually score points for...
No, I don't think you do. I don't think objectives are actually going to do anything at all.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so from second round onwards, you get an additional 4 if you control more objective markers than your opponent.
So there is more objectives to play around as well, but it's primarily just kill stuff. So that's going to be fun. So we'll be back in a sec and we'll go through the 2 armies. We'll start with Matt's Astra Militarum, which is the same one as was in the Space Wolf report.
Spoilers.
I'm not going to say what's in it. And then we'll go through my nids. So we'll be back in just a sec and we will show you what we're taking. So starting off, we will do the 1,500 points of Astra Militarum, which is being led by Matt. Do you want to run through this horde of bodies tanks that you've brought to the table?
So it's sort of blood pacty is my kind of thing, kind of thinking, which is why they're all red and chaos symbol-y and stuff. We've got a Castellan, who's the warlord. He's got a plasma pistol power weapon, and he's got the drill commander enhancement, which means if his unit stays still, they get crits on 5s instead of 6s, which is nice. Cadian command squad with all of the general stuff that it comes with: bolt pistol power weapon and a melter gun. Other options there. Ogrim bodyguard behind them, brute shield and Bulgrim maul. Even though it looks like an axe, it's actually a maul.
Yeah, same thing really.
Same difference. Lehman Russ tank commander in the demolisher. He's got 2 multi-melters, heavy stubber, hunter killer, and he's got grand strategist, which allows him to do 1 additional order, so 3 orders in total. He can order the tanks. So
very nice.
There we go, going with tanks. 2 vanquishers, hunter killers, heavy stubbers, and otherwise they've got the las cannons, no sponsons.
Cool.
20-man Cadian shock troop squad.
Is this one here?
Look.
This one here?
Yep.
There we go.
2 plasma guns, 2 grenade launchers, 2 vox casters. And they're going to be joined by the command squad, the Castellan, and the Ogrim bodyguard.
For a nice big blob of blasty goodness.
Absolutely, yes. Indeed, that's the bit I don't like very much. 2 squads of Catachan jungle fighters, with 2 flamers and a vox caster in each.
And these are
the Ash Waste Nomads guys.
Yep, some unique models there, but they do look very Catachan-y.
I thought they were, and a bit cultisty.
Yes,
so
yes, which kind of
with both ideas, yeah. 2 chimeras with hunter killer missiles and heavy stubbers.
Nice.
They each have a squad of Kazakin.
Yep, these guys.
10 in each. They have 2 hotshot volley guns, a grenade launcher, and a plasma gun in each squad, along with the Vox for what that's worth.
That sounds unpleasant.
Sergeants both have power weapons. One of them has a hotshot las pistol. The other one has a plasma pistol. And then there's 2 heavy weapons teams, 1 Cadians with autocannons and 1 Catachans with missile launchers.
Cadian ones here, and the Catachans with their missiles.
And I'm running combined arms,
No.
which means all of my infantry get lethal hits against anything that's not a monster or a vehicle, and all of my vehicles get lethal hits against anything that is a monster or a vehicle.
Yeah, which is kind of similar to my army rule, actually, in a way.
Well, then we can help each other
Yeah,
remember.
exactly. Cool, so that is 1,500 points on the nose.
No, 1490.
1490.
I know.
Disappointing.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I could make it 1500 by adding in an enhancement if you really wanted it to be 1500. Okay, just because he's given me a disapproving look for making it not 1500.
I just
so
think,
now it's 1500.
What was the enhancement?
So my Cadian Command Squad commander has the Death Mask of Alanius.
Of course he does.
Or she, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Minkalesque model.
Oh, yeah.
And it means when the unit's battle shocked, you only subtract 1 from the OC instead of 0.
That actually might be useful against
It might
Tyranids.
So that gigantic blob will now be OC2 even if they're battle shocked because they've got the regimental standard.
Yeah. Damn it. Should have said anything. But that is 1,500 points on the nose of Astra Militarum. And we'll be back in a sec and I will show you the Tyranids that I'm bringing. And going up against the Astra Militarum today, we've got my newest army, which is my Tyranids, which I very hastily put together in a very, very short order over the past week.
Yeah, they look good though. I really like it.
There's still lots to do on them, so I do apologise. Some of the weapons aren't painted, and the claws and teeth and stuff. But I basically just rushed them as much as I could.
They look really good.
They're giving me both Alex and Matt are giving me a disapproving look, but
Lies.
it is what it is. So it's 1,500 points. I'm running the Invasion Fleet, which is the basic one, just because I thought that made the most sense with what models I had at the time.
But it's easier to remember.
And it's easy to remember because I'm new to the army, first time ever playing Tyranids. So it's being led by a Hive Tyrant, who is my warlord. He's got the adaptive biology enhancement, and he's also got the barbed strangler rather than the venom cannon. I know the venom cannon is generally better, but I prefer the look of the barbed strangler, so that's what I've gone with.
Valid.
We've also,
cool.
yeah, exactly. We've also got a Broodlord in the army. He has got the alien cunning enhancement on him, and he's leading a squad of 10 Gene Stealers, as you might expect. It was a loud ping.
Sorry.
Very unprofessional from Matt.
It is. That's the story of my life, really.
We've also got a winged Tyranid Prime from the Leviathan box, who is leading a squad of 6 Tyranid warriors. These are the melee warriors, so no guns in them, just pure close combat, mixture of swords and whips, but it's all the same option. That is all of my characters. We've got 2 10-man units of termagants to just score me some objectives and be a nuisance. We've got 5 Barbgaunts to give me a little bit of range support against the big blobs of guard that Matt has bought.
Only one big blob.
Well, yeah, but it'll be nice against them. 6 Zoanthropes for some anti-tank and some more anti-infantry, and then 2 big Tyrannofexes with the rupture cannons. I bought these very last minute, actually, because I knew Matt was bringing 2 Vanquishers, and I thought that's kind of like a mirror match because they're basically the same stats.
Sounds like Liz Taylor.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I wanted to get them, so they're very cool, and I thought they'd be fun to see which is the better tank, the Vanquisher or the tank or the. Yeah. So that is 1,500 points on the nose of Tyranids. We will be back to show you where we've got everything set up with deployment, and also to go through who is going first and get this game underway. Right, that is the deployment phase all done. I made Matt start deploying first, but we've done all the scout moves. Matt is going first. We've done the scout moves and redeploys and everything. So do you want to go through what you deployed?
So closest to you then, on my left flank, I've got the 2 squads of Catachans. They've scouted forwards a little bit to get a bit closer to that objective over there.
Yep.
We've got the tanks in the middle. Decent lines of sight, but also they can move pretty quick, so that's fine.
Yep.
We've got the heavy weapons teams anchoring my backfield.
Nice.
With very good lines of sight up the corridor in the middle.
Yep.
Big blob of 20 Cadians
Yep.
to sticky my home objective and then move out into the midfield.
Yep.
And the 2 Kazakins in their transports on the right-hand flank.
Ready to move up.
Yes.
Nice. And they scouted.
And they have scouted as well, yeah.
Perfect. And on the Tyranid side, the Gene Stealers started up there. They used their scout move just to get between the corridor there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some Termagants, which are just skulking behind the building there, ready to move up and potentially grab an objective. Over on this side, we've got my Barbgaunts sitting back there, probably going to move up and try and keep sort of the midfield under their shooting with their barb launchers.
Because blast is nice against you. Just have 27 models in.
Yeah, it's always handy to have. The Hive Tyrant and Termagants are also here. They're pretty well protected line of sight because of that big building. Matt might be able to get some shots on them when he's moved some stuff, but they're fairly well protected. And then over on this side, we've got my 2 Tyrannofexes and the Zoanthropes.
Yeah.
The redeploys from the Gene Stealers enhancement that I gave, I put the Warriors into Strategic Reserve and I moved a few bits around. I was going to move the Zoanthropes off for Strategic Reserves before we realised that would lead to the Tyrannofexes with no synapse, which I thought was quite important.
Yes.
So yeah, that's all a nice little anti-tank bundle there, ready to go up against the tanks over there.
Yeah.
So we will see what happens there. But Matt is going first, so we're going into Matt's turn 1, and we'll be back when we've done his command phase and his movement phase.
Yep.
The Astra Militarum turn 1 movement phase is done.
Well, and command phase.
And command phase, of course, yes. So do you want to run through what you did orders-wise?
I will, yes. So Tank Commander gave himself and one of the Vanquishers +3 inches to move.
Yep.
And the other Vanquisher gave +1 ballistic skill because it was staying stationary because it can see stuff.
Yep.
So it made sense. The Castellan ordered the 2 heavy weapon squads to +1 ballistic skill, take aim. And then the Cadian command lady did +3 inch move on the Cadians. Nice. That's why they've managed to move so far.
Yep.
Then the Catachans have just stepped up onto that objective.
Yep.
There's the guys at the back are staying where they are, just out of line of sight.
Yep.
Potential later on jump on the objective if I need to.
Yep, makes sense.
Heavy weapons teams, funnily enough, staying where they are.
Yep.
Cadians have stickied my home field objective and moved up into the building. They're actually on the ground floor, but it's just much easier to put them on top and to see them. It's
makes
better.
sense.
And then the Chimeras have motored up the side.
They have indeed.
And the Kazakin have got out and are about to blast
shoot into the Gene Stealers.
Gene Stealers.
Nice.
And at the start of my start of my shooting phase, the Kazakin Warrior Elite rule is going to kick in, and they're going to first rank fire, second rank fire, which is +1 attack for rapid fire weapons.
That's quite scary.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Right, we will go into the Astra Militarum shooting phase and see what is alive in my army at the end of it. That is the Astra Militarum shooting phase done.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, did you want to go through the missions that we forgot to say?
So it would help explain why I chose certain orders. Area denial. I was trying to get my tank commander into the centre. I'm about half an inch away from the centre point of the battlefield. Yep. 3.5 inches. So I can't score that yet.
Yep.
And then I got engaged on all fronts, which I've scored in 3 quarters with the Kazakin, the Catachans, and the heavy weapons teams.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Perfect. And how did shooting go?
Shooting was a bit of a mixed bag,
yes,
really.
Yes, it was.
The Vanquisher on my extreme left completely whiffed against the Tyrannofex.
Yep.
I don't think I did anything against him.
No.
Fired off his hunter killer and everything. He was hitting on 2s with most things, did just rubbish.
Yep.
Vanquisher in the middle killed a Zoanthrope?
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, and then...
and the tank commander killed another one.
Yeah.
Cunningly, in a stroke of tactical genius...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I moved both of my tanks in front of my missile launcher team so they couldn't see anything or shoot anything. Yep. So that's genius on my part. The autocannon teams also fired at the Zoanthropes.
Yeah, did they kill one of the Zoanthropes? It was either the tank commander...
2 tanks and the autocannon team killed 2 Zoanthropes. And then the 2 Chimeras and the 2 Kazakin squads, because Will played a stratagem to get 5+ feel no pain.
Yeah, 5+ feel no pain.
Only just
it was down to the last wound.
The Gene Stealers.
Yeah, so
with all of that firepower and first rank fire, second rank fire on both Kazakin squads.
Yeah, so still got the Broodlord alive on full wounds.
Yes.
Which is quite scary potentially for them.
Yes, it is.
But yes, did kill the Gene Stealers, which is a big blow to
and its points for the
mission.
It's a unit killed in turn 1.
Yes, but luckily my heavy support is largely unscathed, which is good for me. And I've got a few tricks I can play, but I assume there's no charges?
No.
No?
Because they disembarked.
They disembarked, yes, indeed. Yeah. Cool, so that is the end of your turn. We don't score primary in this turn, so you just got engaged on all fronts this turn, didn't you?
And a point for the primary.
And the point for the... Yes.
Or however many points are on.
Yes, a point for the killing on the primary.
Yeah.
But that is the end of Matt's turn 1, so we're going into my turn 1, and I will show you when I've done my command and my movement phase where everything is. That is the Tyranids Turn 1 movement phase done. and command phase. In terms of objectives, I got sabotage, which is actually going to be quite difficult to do because it doesn't complete until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that's going to be tricky. I haven't started doing that yet, although we haven't got to the shooting phase, but I don't know if I'm going to. I do have a unit.
I think you need to kill some stuff first.
Yes, exactly. And then I also got secure no man's land, which is control one objective marker in no man's land, which again I'm probably not going to do
unless
I'm really lucky with
Bajillion.
Yes, yeah, but that's probably not going to happen, unfortunately, this turn. So I am a bit short on objectives this turn. But the Tyrannofexes both stayed still because they've both got line of sight of a tank.
Yep.
The zone threats moved up. They could potentially target the tank or the unit up. Well, I say up there before we get there.
They're actually on the ground floor.
They're on the ground floor. I can't remember if we said that in the last. It's easier to see and record with them up there. But they're on the ground floor. So they've got a couple of targets. With the rule from the Hive Tyrant giving out an aura of assault, everything here moved up to assault. So the Barb Gaunts here have moved up 8 inches. They've got line of sight and range on that big unit in the building there. The Termagants just moved up and around. I was hoping to maybe get an advance to get me up to toe onto that just to score me secure no man's land, but didn't quite roll enough. Hive Tyrants moved up to shoot into them. The Broodlord moved up, got overwatched, and took 3 wounds from the squad, one of the Kaskin squads. And then these guys just moved up into the building to put some more pot shots. So I'm not going to be able to take that objective, I don't think, unless I get really, really lucky with shooting. But even then,
you can't see the Chimera as the problem.
No,
it's on it. As are 2 of these.
Yeah, there's no way I don't think that I can get that, but I can at least maybe kill a few things there. Which would be
you'll
nice.
kill a lot of things here, I'm sure.
So we're about to go into the Tyranids shooting phase. I'm hoping it is quite an effective one because I think I need it. But we'll be back in a sec to show you what I've shot and hopefully what has been destroyed. That was actually a surprisingly effective Tyranid shooting phase. I was a bit worried after he killed all the Gene Stealers, but I didn't do as much. I obviously wanted to do more, but I did okay. So we'll start over here. Yeah. In a surprising twist, the Termagants actually did incredibly well.
Entire squad of Kaskin.
And wiped out an entire squad of Kaskin with their shooting.
It helped that they were getting lethal hits from the
the Hive Tyrant was giving them lethal hits, and I rolled, I think, like 6 lethal hits or something. It was insane.
Just a bajillion damaging.
And then the Hive Tyrant here fired his barbed strangler into the other squad.
Killed 5?
Killed some of them. The Barb Guns then fired 48 shots into the big squad up here.
Because of blast. Because of blast. 27-man unit.
Yep. And I killed 7 or 8?
8.
8 of them? Yep. So a good chunk of them died. Matt very cleverly took them away so that my Zone Threats couldn't then use their warp blast into him.
I mean, don't give me much credit. It wasn't that clever.
Because the way he had positioned the units, he took away
both my grenade launchers and one of my plasma guns.
Yeah. So, but still making sense because getting that would have been a lot more shots into them from the Zone Threats.
In hindsight, I sort of think I would have preferred the Zone Threats to shoot them.
Yeah. Trying to live off the victories of the other Termagant squad, these guys shot at the Lehman Russ demolishing tank commander and killed it, as you can see.
They did 1 wound.
They did 1 wound to it, which, can't argue with that. Nope. Then, because the Zone Threats were out of range, they shot into the tank commander, did a couple of 6 wounds to it, so left it on 6 wounds left, I think it was. Then I lit up with the 2 Tyrannofexes, fired this one into the Vanquisher. Matt popped smoke, so I did nothing to that in the end. I got 1 hit through, but didn't wound. The Stinger Salvos did kill a couple of dudes, but then the second Tyrannofex did a good bit of work. He killed 4 or 5, I think, of them. Killed a good
6 gone from that squad.
Yeah, so I think it was 2 from the first Tyrannofex and 4 from the second. And then he shot and killed off the tank commander with his rupture cannon in a stroke of once per lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt passed his
finally got a death befitting an officer off on the tank commander.
Yeah.
I fired the demolisher cannon at the Termagants in the middle.
Yep.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
I think I got 4 hits, no wounds.
Rolled a 1 to wound. Yeah.
The heavy stubble went there as well and didn't do anything.
Yep.
The hunter killer put 4 wounds on the Hive Tyrant, which is nice.
Yes, and he's got the 5 up Fiona Pain from the adaptive biology enhancement. So I passed.
He put 6 damage on it.
Yeah, 6 damage. Yeah.
And then the 2 multi-melters fired at the Zone Thrips
and did 1 wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at least he got to shoot, but he just
did,
didn't do a huge amount.
Yeah.
And I've got some charges to make, so we're going to go into my charge and fight phase.
Yep.
It's only one charge, I think. So
we can't fail him. Let's just roll a couple of dice and make sure.
Yeah, so we'll just do that here because may as well. He's obviously going into the Kasrkin there.
Yep. There you go.
With a 5, so he's going to go blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And then I will have to come back because I can't remember what his attack profile is.
No issues.
So we'll come back and show you probably some dead Kasrkin.
Yes.
I would have thought.
A Kasrkin check hole.
Yes. So back in a sec. So literally 15 seconds later, the Broodlord charged in and has killed all the Kasrkin fairly easily.
Didn't see that coming.
No, neither did I. I consolidated into the Chimera and Matt attacked back, got one hit but didn't do anything.
Yep.
I don't control the objective, I'm only OC1,
I'm
so
OC2.
Matt is still controlling it. But that is the end of my turn. So I didn't get any of my primaries, any of my secondaries, should I say.
No, but you did score 4 points for killing something in the first turn.
Yes, so I've got 4 points, and that is the end of battle round 1.
It is.
What are we on points wise?
16-14, because I scored 2 points from Gage.
You did. So we're going into battle round 2, and Matt's turn 2. So we'll be back in a sec, and we'll show you where his command phase and movement phase stuff has ended up.
Yes.
So you may notice that the table has darkened ever so slightly. It's like there's a shadow.
Almost like a shadow in the warp got unleashed in my command phase.
Over the table. So we are in battle round 2.
And apparently the Bloodbacks are scared of the dark.
Yes, very much afraid of the dark. So Matt's turn 2.
Yeah.
Command phase, I can once per game unleash the shadow of the warp.
Yes.
So I did that.
Yes.
So we may as well cover that because that impacted a lot of your command phase.
Yeah.
So
the basically it's a battle shock test to everybody.
Yes.
The only units that passed their battle shock tests were the Catachans hiding at the back.
Oh yes, these guys.
And the 2 Vanquishers.
Yep.
Everybody else failed their battle shock tests.
Yeah. So these guys are battle shocked.
Yeah.
Both heavy weapon squads,
the big squad
there, and both Chimeras are all battle shocked.
Yeah.
So a lot of orders, pretty much no orders.
No orders.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating, but it's fine.
Yes.
Also stopped me scoring this objective over here, so that means I only scored 1 on the primary.
Yes.
Which is also annoying.
It was actually a very, very effective shadow in the wall. Like I was expecting it to maybe be a bit of an annoyance.
Yes.
But actually that's been a big disruption to your turn 2.
That's crazy.
So that's a very good use of shadow.
And other than that, the Vanquisher and the Cadians moved up.
Yep,
in the middle,
they moved up.
And that's it.
Yep, everything else stayed.
Everything else stayed where it is.
Perfect.
So we're going to shooting.
Yeah, indeed. We'll go into the Astra Militarum shooting phase, turn 2.
Yo.
Oh, the only other thing that we should mention, end of Matt's movement phase, I rapid ingressed the warriors. I don't know if it was the best idea because it's spending a command point and I haven't really gained much ground, but I'm basically going to try and yeet them through the wall and then get them up into the midfield or potentially send them that way. But either way, I'm near some midfield objectives, which could be helpful.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just do that. And that is the end of Matt's movement phase. So into his shooting.
Yes.
That is the end of Astra Militarum turn 2 shooting phase.
Yes.
Wasn't the most effective, although that last little bit you just did was a nice extra.
It made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So these guys opened up first into the warriors, didn't really do anything, might have done a wound.
Yeah. There's a missile launches, killed a couple of
the
them.
missile launchers fired in and killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Then
Vanquishers fired at the Tyrannifex, got a wound through, once per game, ignores all damage.
Yes, so it did manage to get
really annoying.
Did manage to get the wound through, but I used the once per game ignore damage or set it to 0.
Yeah.
So Matt decided to fire the Vanquisher into the same one.
Yeah.
I then used the regeneration feel no pain strat, which I probably should have done against the first one, but then Matt might have just gone into the second Tyrannifex. But either way, I did use it just in case.
Yep, and I
ended up not needing it, so did no wounds there.
Mm-hmm. The Cadians in the middle killed a few Termagants.
Yes.
Nothing special.
5 Termagants, I think, died there.
And annoyingly, because everything's battle shocked, I can't overwatch when you move.
Nope. And then the Chimeras both fired into the
Broodlord. I took 1 wound of him.
Yeah, he's down to 2 wounds, but it was a load of fire that was hitting on 5s. Just not wounding very
and then
well.
finally the autocannons killed his Zythra.
Yes, and then the autocannons last of all fired in, did a wound, killed the 2 wound zone throat.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 charges to declare.
Yep.
The Chimera's going into the Broodlord.
Yep.
And the Cadians going into the Termagants.
Perfect. Where do you want to start?
Chimera. 5.
You in.
Bang.
And the Cadians. I don't know what this charge is.
Not 4.
Not 4? Okay.
That's fine.
Cool. So
come on. Oh no, wait, they're battle shocked.
Yes, they are. Right, we'll be back in just a sec and we'll show you the combat with the Broodlord. So another relatively quick
Combat
phase.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't make their charge.
Yeah.
The Chimera did. Fought first.
Yeah,
Did one wound.
Yeah.
Then the Broodlord fought back, went into that one, did 4 damage.
3. Oh, no, sorry, it was 4. So
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause I got
down
2.
to 5 is what I meant to
Yes,
say.
yeah.
No, he's not.
I did 4 damage because I got 2 wounds.
He's at 7.
Yeah.
Because he's got 11. I can't count.
And then that did nothing in return. It did hit, but didn't wound.
Yes.
That is the combat phase done.
It is. That's the end of my turn.
Yes.
So I have started sabotaging an objective. I score area denial. You're not within 6 inches.
You still get to keep doing that even because were they?
They are not.
They're not battle shocks. Yes,
It's
yes,
one of the frontiers.
yes. Good point. Yeah.
And the Lehman Russ is within 6 of the centre and not battle shocked, or if that makes any difference.
Yeah.
And so has scored me area denial.
Nice.
Didn't kill a unit though.
No, you did not.
This turn so far.
Yes.
Area denial, nothing within 6. I'm starting to sabotage. Okay.
Cool. Right. So that is the end of Matt's turn 2.
It is.
About to go into the Tyranids turn 2.
We are.
I'll do another shadow in the wall. It's once per turn, isn't it? Right. Back in a sec with the Tyranids turn 2 command phase and movement. Turn 2 for the Tyranids done. Well, no, I say that. The command and movement phase is done. So this stuff's just stayed still because I've got good lines of sight on the things I want them to kill, and obviously with heavy I want them hitting. The Tyranid warriors just ran through the wall.
Yep.
Potentially maybe get a charge on the tank. The Zoanthropes stayed still. They've got line of sight on either the tank or the big squad there, for depending on what I need to shoot at.
Yes.
Where the Barbgons stayed still because they're heavy. Again, they can potentially shoot into them or the Chimera because the Broodlord also fell back. These guys have stayed where they are. Might try and unleash. I probably should have moved them, but never mind. And the Hive Tyrant, he moved up. And Matt,
Overwatch with the Vanquisher because 6s are lethal hits against monsters and vehicles. So.
And you did actually wound with the Vanquisher.
I did. I hit him in the face with the Vanquisher shell.
And I failed the ward save. Invulnerable save. Get there in the end. I had to re-roll it. So I did that and passed it.
Yeah.
And then nothing else went through. The Hunter Killer nearly landed on a 6 and then rolled off onto it.
Off a bit of terrain onto a 5.
So he's moved up. I've got some shooting. I've got quite a lot of shooting to do.
Yes.
So we'll come back in my shooting phase and see what has been done. So turn 2 Tyranids shooting phase again was pretty damn successful. I'll be honest. So
is the word.
We'll start over here because that's where I started. The Termagants, I fell back with the Broodlord as I mentioned. The Termagants opened up and again did reasonably well. 4 damage into the Chimera. Didn't quite manage to kill it, but not too bad.
Considering they're glorified bolts.
Considering they're not exactly the greatest weaponry. Then I moved round here. The Hive Tyrant fired into that squad.
I think he killed 4.
Yeah, he killed 4 or 5 of them. It didn't do too badly with his Barbed Strangler. Made his charge a bit harder, but he wasn't really the one that made the charge harder.
No.
The Barb Gaunts fired into them as well.
Yes.
And it was 34 shots, I think, in total. And you did 12 or something, So it did a good chunk of damage there and really made my charge not impossible, but a lot harder. Over here, the 2 Tyranofexes open up. One of them fired into that tank up there and did 11 damage to it. So it's down 2 wounds left.
Yes.
And bracketed, I assume.
Yes.
The other one fired into that tank and did... Yes, was it the Tyranofex that did damage or the Zoanthropes?
No, I don't think it was actually. I think it was the Zoanthropes.
Yeah, the Tyranofex I don't think did anything. And the Zoanthropes then fired into it with the warp lance and did a few damage to it.
Yeah.
So didn't kill any tanks, but did a good chunk of damage on the infantry and did.
And technically, it's a unit as well that you've killed.
Yes,
because the the infantry squad, is dead.
Oh, and I also killed that squad with the salvo, the little guns from there. So not bad. I've got a couple of charges to make. The warriors into the tank, and the Hive Tyrant is going to try and go into them. So we will see if I get in, and then we'll come back and show you what combats are to be done. So that is the end of Battle Round 2 and Turn 2 for the Tyranids. I failed both my charges. The warriors rolled a 4, the Hive Tyrant rolled a 3.
Yep.
So that was less than eventful, but not the end of the world. I've still had a pretty good turn. I got both my objectives with Cleanse and Secure No Man's Land, and I did pretty well on the primary.
And you hold more objectives than I do, and you kill more than I did.
Yes. So going into battle round 3.
Mm-hmm. I also scored sabotage.
Oh, yes. So Matt got sabotage at the end of my turn. Yeah. But going into battle round 3, we are
28-37.
28-37.
Before any objectives are scored.
Is that to the Tyranids?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes, it is.
So we're going into battle round 3 for Matt. And we will see what he can do.
I'm not battle shocked anymore, Will.
No.
So, yeah.
We'll be back in a sec at the end of the command and movement phase to see what's been battle shocked and what movement has been made.
Yep.
We are now in battle round 3, turn 3 for the Astra Militarum. We've done your command phase and movement phase.
So we think we've got this right.
Yes.
Because basically we did all the orders and battle shocks and bits and bobs like that. The Lehman Russ Vanquisher needed to take a test, passed. He's not battle shocked.
Yep.
The only other thing that needed a battle shock test was this Chimera over here. It is battle shocked.
Yes.
Everything else is fine. So basically, the Cadian Shock Troop squad is dead.
Yes.
So the command squad and the Castellan technically split into 2 separate units now, we think.
Yes.
So that means the Castellan's 2 orders no longer benefit from the Master Vox in the command squad. So some shenanigans happened. The command squad commander, using the Master Vox, ordered the autocannon team at the back to hit better with +1 ballistic skill.
Yep.
Then the Castellan ordered the command squad, using the coordinated action stratagem, to affect a squadron and a regiment unit that are within 6 inches. So the command squad and the Vanquisher in the middle have +1 ballistic skill.
Yes.
Long story short.
Yeah, essentially, and we think that's all.
We think that's right. And if that explanation made sense, let us know if we're wrong or if we're right or whatever.
But that is essentially the movement.
Yeah, so realistically, the only thing that moved was the command squad and the Castellan,
Yeah. Cool. So we'll go into your shooting phase and see what's what. The shooting phase for the Astra Militarum turn 3 has commenced and taken place.
Yes.
Again, not amazing.
No,
you've been a bit unlucky on your.
I killed a load of termagants.
You did, you did kill a good chunk of termagants
and the Broodlord.
And
that was it. And a couple of Barbagons.
Yeah. So essentially, the tanks.
The 2 Chimeras killed the termagants.
Yeah, killed a few termagants. And the Broodlord.
The command squad Castellan Vanquisher fired at the Hive Tyrant and did nothing. The Vanquisher fired. The damaged Vanquisher fired at one of the Tyrannofexes. Did nothing. The heavy weapons teams fired at various things. I think the autocannons killed a warrior.
Yeah, a warrior died.
That was about
and I think nothing else happened really. So
what did the missile launchers shoot at?
I think they shot at the Tyrannofex as well. Yeah. So
that was it.
Yeah, not huge. You do have a few charges. Do you want to roll?
The Vanquisher in the middle is charging.
Yep.
Into the warriors.
Ooh, scary.
It's a 6-inch charge.
Here we go.
That's a 10.
That's a 10-inch charge. That will do it.
The command squad is charging both the termagants and the what's his face. That's also a charge.
Cool.
And the Castellan's charging as well. And he's in 2.
Nice.
3 successful charges.
3 charges. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's go in it and we will see what happens in the fight phase. That is the end of Astra Militarum turn 3.
Yes.
How did the combat phase go?
About as well as I expected it to. But I was hoping to squeak some wounds off the Hive Tyrant. It just didn't work.
Yes.
So the tank lost 7 wounds. The Vanquisher lost 7 wounds to the Warriors. Did nothing in return.
Yep.
And then the command squad died to a man. Just the Auguran bodyguard left on 2 wounds.
Yep.
And no damage done to the Hive Tyrant or the termagants.
No. Yep. So
it's exactly what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, quite a good combat phase for me. I won't lie.
Yep. So that's the end of my turn. I scored Secure No Man's Land.
Yep.
But I did not score Bring It Down because I didn't kill anything.
Cool. Right, so we're going into my turn 3 in battle round 3.
You get 4 points for controlling 1 or more objectives.
Yep. And then I'll draw my secondaries and we'll show you what they are when I've done my command.
And do some battle shock tests.
Yeah. So yeah, back in a second. That is my command and movement phase for the Tyranids.
Yes.
A fair bit moved and there was some Overwatch as well.
Sorry, there's a
thank you.
Annoying noise out there.
That's right. So both Tyrannofexes finally had to move up.
Yeah.
So that one moved up. They're both visible to that now. It's only got 2 health left, so
yeah,
I should hopefully be able to deal with it.
I did try and Overwatch with my heavy weapon team
before this one moved, but didn't do anything. No. The Tyranid warriors have stayed where they are. They will scooch around when they get to pile in. But the zone threats moved back because I can now see the Chimera on the far side there. The Barbgaunts stay still because they can again see the Chimera. I'm going to try and take it out with some shooting if I can. Termagants moved up and down. I also did use Endless Multitude and got back to a full squad. So I'm hoping that their shooting might be able to plink off those last 3 wounds.
Probably. If history is anything to go by.
Yes, because they've done pretty well.
They have, yes.
The only other movement really was this unit fell back and got to within 3 inches of the centre. Because I can't remember if I...
You haven't said anything.
No, so my objectives that I got, apologies for not saying this first, area denial, so I need to have a unit within 3 inches of the centre of the battlefield and no enemy units, which, barring anything completely untoward, I have, unless I somehow randomly get battle shocked by my own Shadow of the Warp or something. An extend battle line is control 1 or more objective marker within your deployment zone, which I do, and also 1 or more within no man's land, which again I do, barring anything super crazy going on.
Yep.
So we're going into my shooting phase. I've got a fair bit of shooting to do, so we'll be back in a sec to see what has happened. So another relatively successful shooting phase, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. The first Tyrannofex rolled a double 1, so missed the Vanquisher. Then the other one got 1 hit through. You failed your save, and only 32 wounds left, so automatically just died.
Exploded.
And it exploded.
Wounded one of the heavy weapon teams.
So did 1 mortal wound to them, didn't it? Over here, the Zoanthropes fired into the Chimera there and did nothing, but then the Barbgaunts blasted it with their D6 shots and did 4 wounds to it.
No, 3 wounds.
3, yeah. But then the Termagants, they fired into this one and did
2 wounds, so it's got 1 left.
One wound left. So unfortunately, they weren't quite enough.
No.
I'm on that objective, though, controlling it.
You are.
So I don't know whether to charge him in. I don't know if it's worth it. Because knowing my luck, I'd go in, kill that, and it would blow up and kill them.
It only does 1.
Okay, but still.
Up. Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it. But I'm going to have a quick think, because that will be my only charge to declare.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an element of why not.
Yeah.
And if you could tie both of them up...
That's the thing. I might just go into both.
Stops me driving away.
Because you'll be able to attack, but I'm not super scared of your melee anyway. So I think I will charge them in, because then at least...
I mean, you could charge both, or you could just charge that one-on-one wound.
I think at least I'd tie them both up.
Sure.
Which is good. So I'm going to go into both.
Yep.
And I'm pretty much guaranteed to be in, So we'll come back, because they'll obviously fight first, and I don't want to do that on camera, because it'll be a bit boring.
What, them epically killing a Chimera?
Yeah.
It's boring. You don't know what your audience wants, Will.
No, clearly not. But then we've got the Hive Tyrant and also the Warriors here fighting, so we'll come back and show you what happens with those. So back in a sec. Right, that is the end of Battle Round 3 and my turn 3. Again, not a super bad melee phase. You okay?
Not a super bad melee phase at all.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, I'm just checking your errors now.
Yeah.
You could have scored more, but my Castellan's still alive.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, that's annoying. So the Tyranid Warriors fought into the Vanquisher and destroyed that.
Yes, didn't blow up.
Didn't blow up.
Unfortunately.
The Hive Tyrant split his attacks, did 3 damage to the Castellan.
Yes.
But did kill the Ogryn.
After I put a wound on you, I think?
Yes, I'm down to 4 wounds on the Hive Tyrant. And then the Termagants, they fought first, obviously, because they charged. 7 of them went into the Chimera that was there and did manage to destroy it.
Yes.
And then 3 went into this one, but didn't manage to kill it, unfortunately.
Yes.
But then they didn't take any damage in return.
No.
So that was not a bad fight phase.
You got 2 points for area denial, because my Castellan's still within 6 of the centre.
Yep, so 2 points for area.
And you got full 5 points for extend battle lines. You also got the additional 8 points for killing more than I did and controlling more objective markers than I do.
Yes. So it's the end of Battle Round 3 and scores...
60-37.
Okay. It's not going too badly for me then.
No.
But we are going into Battle Round 4.
We are.
And Matt's turn 4. So we'll be back in a sec, show you his command phase and movement phase and what he has drawn objective-wise. So we went into Matt's turn 4, Battle Round 4. We did a combined turn because there wasn't a huge amount to do. There was no orders.
No, because my Castellan can't order himself.
I
Because he's not
didn't
ridden.
fight the bloody Hive Tyrant.
Oh yeah, fight the Hive Tyrant.
Can I do that on camera?
Yeah.
Hive Tyrant against Castellan. Go. I'm going to do it around here. He hits on 2s.
Yes.
That's all hits. He's got no anything because I chose the lethal against vehicles, and your Castellan's not a vehicle.
He is not a vehicle.
Because he's not the knight.
No,
Though I kind of bet you wish he was at the
not
moment.
that kind of Castellan.
Wounds on 2s with twin linked because of the bone sword and lash whip. So that's 6 at -2.
6/5 up invulnerable saves.
Yep.
He's dead. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yes, he is. Just.
Yeah.
Well, no, not just, but yes, he's dead.
Okay, cool.
So yes, some shooting took place. You killed a warrior.
That was it.
That was.
With the shooting, I think.
You killed a
barbed
Barbgaunt, yes. And then in combat, you killed a couple of Termagants.
5.
Yep.
Actually, that was mostly shooting.
It was mostly shooting that did that, to be honest, yeah.
And a Tyranid Warrior.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yep, that was it. So.
And I'm going to ditch, bring it down.
Yep.
To gain a command point. Because why not?
Why not, indeed?
Yeah. Should probably put my objective on there was containment, wasn't it? There we go.
Yes, it was.
And then I'm discarding, bring it down. There we go.
Cool. So we're about to go into my turn 4.
Yes.
And we'll see what I draw and where I move stuff to and what is left.
Yes.
That's the end of my command phase and movement phase. Pretty much everything moved, to be honest with you. Apart from the Barbgaunts. So the Zone Throats moved up just to get, because the third one wasn't in range last turn, but now they are. But I didn't want to move them too far forward to get out of the line of sight blocking, so they just moved up and diagonally. So all 3 are in range now, as well as the Barbgaunts into the Chimera.
Yes.
The Termagants that were in combat with that fell back, still on the objective, but out of combat, so I could shoot that. The Hive Tyrant moved up. He has got a line of sight through the gap there into these fellows, so he's probably going to shoot into them, or potentially them, but I haven't decided yet. But the Termagants moved up.
Depends how good the Termagants are.
Yes, Termagants moved up. They're going to shoot into them as well.
You might notice there's more Termagants now than there were a
yes,
couple of seconds ago.
I did the strat to bring back D3 plus 3, and I brought back 4, so there's 4 more Termagants
Not
there.
quite as successful as the last time you used
No, when I got 5 back.
Yeah.
The Warriors also moved up, but Matt then overwatched with the autocannons.
I did.
And killed off the last remaining warrior. So
I did.
It's just the Tyranid Prime, the winged Tyranid Prime. So he moved up. He moved 12 because his movement is 12.
Yep.
Even though the unit he was with had warriors who have only got a 6-inch move, but because the unit died, we think.
Before it moved.
Yeah, because
it's fine to move.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it. Makes sense to me.
It's a weird interaction because it's obviously two models with some different movements.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that seemed right to us because you fired when at the start of the move. The 2 Tyrannosaurus moved up to say hello to these 2, these lot.
Yep.
So they're going to have some fun. They're also on that objective as well.
Yeah.
But so everything moved up. I've got quite a lot of shooting to do.
Yes.
Potentially a charge, maybe, depending
if
there's anything left. So yeah, we'll be back at the end of my shooting phase, and I'll show you what has been shot. That rhymed. And also, just very quickly, before we move into my turn 4 shooting phase, I did obviously grab some new objectives. Apologies, we're really bad at going through the objectives. I've got no prisoners, which is destroy an enemy unit, which I can do. I mean, that's part of the mission rule as well, so I want to be doing that.
Overly confident of you there, what?
Well, maybe. And then assassination, which is kill enemy characters, but you also get it if all character units from the opponent's army have been destroyed, so I get that as well.
Yeah.
So that's my objectives for the turn. So yeah, we'll be back at the end of my shooting phase to show you what's been shot. Hey, that rhymed again. Yeah, again, another quite successful shooting phase for me. This whole game
I
has
what
been...
you're talking about was rubbish.
Yeah, was it awful? So we start off with the 2 Tyrannosaurus. They fired all of their stinger salvos into the squad there and killed 4 of them. Then they fired both rupture cannons into the... they didn't kill
team.
into the team. Killed 2 of them, just completely blew them up, and the poor guy left just like, what's going on? The combined fire of the Termagants and the Hive Tyrant killed off the missile launcher team.
Yeah, the Catachan heavy weapon team.
But then the Zoanthropes and the Barbgaunts did 4 damage to the Chimera. Didn't manage to kill it, unfortunately.
Nope.
But still did a bit of damage.
Yep.
So that's the end of my shooting phase. The Tyranid Prime obviously has nothing to charge now. So I'm just going to try... I can only fit 1 in, but I'm going to try with both of them.
Yeah.
Just to see if one of them gets in. It's a 9-inch charge, so it is quite a long one. But the Tyrannosaurus on the left doesn't... Oh, that's a 9. I was hoping my luck would maybe not go my way for once, because it has gone all game. So that one will go in.
They don't call in the 6 machine for nothing.
Nope. And this was the one that went up first. He is still the one that has not used. Not that I'm probably going to use a change damage to 1, but so he's going to go in and fight.
Change damage to 1 rather
change
than
damage to 0. No, sorry, yes, I misspoke.
So I was going to say otherwise one of them should be injured.
Yes, no, change damage to 0 once per game, but he's the one that hasn't used it. So we'll do the fight there. I'll show you what is alive at the end of it. His attacks aren't super amazing, but
no,
because he's a vehicle essentially. But we'll come back and see what has happened, and then go into Matt's turn 5, battle round 5. Cool. So back in a bit. So the combat there is done. The Tyranids went in, killed 3 dudes with its 4 attacks, I think.
Yeah.
And then Matt swung back. And
no, you killed 2. Sorry, one of them saved.
Yes, and did nothing back.
No.
So that is the end of my turn 4. I did get assassination because you get that retroactively, essentially. And I also got no prisoners because I destroyed... Well, I get 2 victory points for that because I destroyed 1 unit.
Yep. You did not, however, destroy more units this turn than I did.
Did I not?
No, because I killed your Tyranid warriors this turn.
Yes, you did.
And that was the only thing that died. Oh no, you killed my Castellan in my turn, didn't you? So,
yes,
you
I did.
Sorry. I apologise. So, going into turn 5,
yep.
I somehow need my final turn to score 34 points to draw.
I think that's doable.
And that's without you scoring anything in your turn.
I think that's totally doable.
I might kill one thing.
Yeah.
But I won't because of your saves and feel no pains and everything that you keep making.
Yes.
But I might kill one thing.
Yes.
So let's do it.
Okay,
turn
cool.
5.
So we're going into battle round 5. Matt's turn 5. We'll show you. It'll probably be a combined turn, question mark?
I've got 6 models left.
Okay, cool. It'll probably be a combined turn. But yeah, so we'll be back and show you what has moved and any shooting or anything exciting.
Yes.
Like, that needs to be recorded if it's a crucial role. Okay, back in a sec. So Matt did a combined turn.
Yeah, so I've got recover assets and containment as my 2 missions. So then neither of them are going to happen.
Yep, so not going to be able to get either of those, realistically.
No.
So the only movement was the...
Chimera. Death or Glory.
Yep, you shot at the...
So I shot the Lasgun Array at the term against, did nothing.
Yep.
Everything else at the Hive Tyrant did nothing.
Yeah, yes.
Then charged it. Yep. Oh, sorry. Then the autocannon fired at the Tyranid Prime.
Oh, yes.
Did 3 damage.
Yep.
Then my Chimera charged, Death or Glory.
Yep.
Tank shocked. Did 2 damage.
Yep. So then it fought, didn't do anything further.
Yes.
So I've got to fight back. We do technically have that one to do as well, but we'll do that off camera because we wanted to do this one because it's my Hive Tyrant potentially killing the tank. So 6 attacks.
Does mean I get to strike you first.
Yes,
there,
but I'll be fine with that. So 6 attacks. He hits on 2s.
Yep.
With 1 lethal.
Yep.
And all the others hit.
Yep.
And he's wounding on 4s with twin linked because of his lash whip and bone sword. So that is
Stop it now, Will.
6 at -2 or 3.
Okay, so I've got 3 up safe. So we'll see.
We'll see if I'll check if
Doesn't matter.
Yes, 3 damage each.
Doesn't matter. And now,
Does he blow up?
in the ultimate act of death or gloriness, he doesn't blow up. So it's death then.
Yeah, just death. So that is the Hive Tyrant doing pretty well for himself.
Yep.
We'll do that fight because that's not going to be super exciting.
Do it right now. 4 attacks.
Yep.
From the Caschans. 2 hits.
2 hits.
You're ready for this? No wounds.
No wounds.
Yeah.
And then I've got my 4 attacks from the
Tyranids. Yep.
Gets on 3s.
Oh, you're not going to kill him.
I'm not. He wins on 2s.
Yeah.
2. No rend. 4s.
2 dead.
There's 2 more dead, so we'll remove them. That is the end of your turn, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you get the 38 points you needed?
Let me just add it up. Hang on, just bear with me 1 second. No.
Sorry, that was a dick thing for me to say.
I am going to ditch recover assets at the end of my turn because it gives me a command point to potentially use in your turn.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Cool. So that is the end of Matt's turn 5. We're going into my turn 5, the final turn of the game. So I'll show you what I draw. Again, I'll probably do a combined turn just because there's not going to be a huge amount going on.
I've got 3 models left.
Yeah, cool. All right, so back in a bit. So we did a combined turn for me, turn 5.
Yes.
So I did my movement. Zone Threats moved back to get Defend Stronghold to grab that. The Tyran effects here and the Gaunts there moved up to get Containment, so neither of those shot.
Yep.
The only thing that shot was the Hive Tyrant.
Yep.
Killed off the last remaining heavy weapon base.
Excuse me, that wasn't the only thing that shot.
No.
My heavy weapon team
Yes.
shot your Tyranid Prime.
Yes, actually. Good point. Well remembered. Tyranid Prime is dead.
I killed a unit
You did.
in your turn.
He moved up to potentially get containment there just in case anything happened. I didn't need to do it, but
No.
whatever.
You were also trying to bait out Overwatch, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Because otherwise I was
The
going
Hive
to
Tyrant.
Overwatch a Hive Tyrant.
Exactly. So the Tyranid Prime died. But that was all the...
Yep.
Oh no, I shot
Yeah. Oh
him.
no, you rupture cannon.
I rupture cannon in combat.
Cannon in the face, yeah.
And killed him.
Yeah.
But killed a couple, or was it just one? There was two
Just
left.
one?
Yeah.
It was just the rupture cannon killed one.
And then we fought. Matt went first, obviously,
Yep.
because it's my turn.
Did
Didn't do anything.
a wound.
Did a wound and
But
I
you
saved. Yes.
inevitably.
With a 6.
With a 6, of course.
I rolled a lot of 6s this game.
A lot of
sixes.
sixes this game.
And then the Tyrannifex swung back, killed the remaining dude, but left someone
Hero
who
Sergeant.
clearly deserves a promotion now. And that's not focusing. Alive. So he is the only surviving member
He is.
of the planetary defense.
1500 point.
Yes.
The entire 1500 point list. That one
Yes.
Catachan Sergeant is still alive, yeah.
And that is the end of the game. So I got both my
Yes.
secondaries there, and also
Yes.
Matt's been keeping track of primary.
I have.
So we will get to the final
And
scores.
yeah, we'll stop scoring primaries about... Well, actually, probably only last turn. to be
Okay.
fair. So, I feel slightly better.
Yep.
You didn't score double my points.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes, that makes me feel better.
Yes.
So you scored 90 points.
It's not bad.
I scored 53 points. So it is a victory for the Tyranids
For the
on their
Tyranids,
first
on their
outing.
first outing, which doesn't normally happen.
Nope. That was good.
Yeah, that was very good. I mean, I bought some very good units. The Tyrannifexes, the Hive Tyrant, the Zoanthropes are all very much staples in most lists. 2 units of Termagants, they were surprisingly useful. I thought they would do sweet FA, to be honest. But I actually spiked the lethal hits very well and did a good bit of damage on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it did.
Um,
The Tyrannifexes. I got unlucky with shooting.
You did.
To be fair.
Yes, you
But
did.
you also got very lucky with saves.
Yes, I got lucky with saves. You got unlucky with shooting. It did take me a few turns to get rid of your vanquishers.
Yeah,
But-
not that made any difference.
No,
'cause
but
they
it didn't.
do anything anyway.
It didn't make a big difference.
No.
The Tyrannifexes are really good.
They're pretty tasty.
I rather like them.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty.
And
I need to learn how to play guard.
I mean, as you said in the beginning, you were very aggressive. Like first turn when you moved up, killed off the Gene Stealers, I was like, okay, this game is going to be.
Yeah, it did
brutally
feel
quick-
a bit like it
Yeah.
was, yeah.
But then you just started rolling badly, and I started rolling incredibly well.
Yes.
Like the fact that the 10 Termagants basically killed an entire squad of
Whole
cat-
squad of Kazakin, yeah.
by themselves was brutally good.
Yeah. I need to stop doing Overwatch as well so much because my command points are useful for things other than Overwatch, and I need to remember this.
Yes, like you do have some good Overwatch because obviously your 6s to hit
Yeah.
are lethal,
Auto wounds,
depending on
yeah.
what you Overwatch with.
And the heavy weapon seems auto on, or the Cadian heavies.
Yes.
Auto on fire. What am I saying?
Overwatch on fires.
Overwatch on fires.
Which is good. I think, I mean, I don't know the guard well enough to know whether it's a super good list or just
It's
not.
not.
Really. Whereas the NID stuff I've got is some very good stuff. About the only thing that really isn't good or competitive, and even I thought they were pretty good, was the Barb Gaunts. Most people think they're pretty rubbish.
Well,
But
how frequently do those people go up against squads of 27 people?
they had great targets in the big squad there, and obviously being near the Hive Tyrant for lethal hits made them really good. And even into like the tanks, because of the lethals against
Yeah, they
vehicles,
were
it was
right,
just
yeah.
weight of dice.
Yeah, not
Even
too
with
bad.
no AP, you 4 saves. So I had a very good list, and I rolled exceptionally well. I don't
Yes.
think I've ever seen as many 6s.
But I will say I did play very, very badly. There's a lot of things I could have done differently and should have done differently.
Yeah,
But I still enjoyed it.
it was a good game.
It was good.
I had a really fun game.
A lot of fun.
It was nice to win a game on the channel. I don't do it very often. So that was good.
It's alright, don't worry, I'll bring the Custodians next time and you'll lose that one.
Yes, probably. But I really like the NIDs. I'm glad I picked them up, and they
Yeah,
will
I am as
definitely
well.
they will
Yeah.
definitely be making an appearance again.
Yeah.
On the channel.
We've got a Starship Troopers
Yes.
outpost mission
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah,
At
because
some stage,
we've
once we
got
get
some
some-
terrain that would suit it quite well, and I'm
Yeah.
going to get a load of like Hormagaunts and some Biovores for like the plasma bugs and everything.
Mhm.
So that should be fun to do.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a cool but overwhelming victory for the Tyranids.
Yes.
But I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know, as always, any mistakes. We're still new to these armies, both of us. So any mistakes or suggestions.
You know that rule that I needed to remember based on the previous game that I played, where I could fall back and shoot?
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't work because I was never in combat and didn't have a chance to fall back.
Yes, indeed.
But at least I remembered it.
You did remember it.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. But thank you very much for watching. As always, let us know any comments or thoughts down in the comments below. And we will catch you in the next video. So thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye.